if you have expendable cash, you need to be a tipper. I'm so sorry.
Sometimes
Like,
I'll just tip people in my life. Like, I think it's funny to, after a week at a comedy club, I'll go up to the manager or like the owner and just give him $1.
that's hilarious. Wow, Andrew Collin, can we just give a shout out? Last
my
night,
goodness. Amazing.
we went to Andrew's one-man show. You got left last night. It was a you up
Extravaganza.
yeah, there was a lot of people there. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so
It
good.
was great.
He has this picture of him with like a scarf on Hinge. Like it looks like he's like it's a Mindy Tucker photo, and it's a
Yeah.
beautiful photo. You know, like professionally done. But he looks like a gay poet on a bridge, and I come across him on Hinge because they keep throwing me the same guys, and I keep going no because I'm like, I need to have an intervention with him about this picture because it is not who he is, and it's a good photo, but it is I gotta pull it up. I'm sure it's the first thing that comes up when you Google him. But last night was fun. Ian brought a date.
Yes.
How was the date?
Date was good. We've been hanging out a lot. And,
Yeah.
Where'd you meet?
Yeah.
After a show?
After a show at the Cellar.
Nice.
Yeah. And she did a move where she had her brother come up and talk to me, and then she tagged him out and was like, okay, that was my in. And then
That's
we started
so
talking.
funny.
And she was there. Some guy was like hitting on her, and in front of him, I went up and wrote my number on a piece of paper. I was like, you should call me. And I gave her my number. And we've been hanging out.
That's
Nice.
great, man.
Yeah.
That's a good meeting, and she kind of made the first move without having to make you got to make the first move, but she was. It's almost like a Bumble meeting where the girl is like, "I like you," or no, it's not Bumble.
Yeah, Bumble's the one where they talk first. But Bumble,
Yeah.
they always say hi and then they ignore you.
I
If you're
don't
listening,
like
Bernadette,
Bumble.
fuck
I will
you.
say I think Bumble is a flawed
Yes.
one because women shouldn't. You've heard me talk about this goddamn book so many times.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Listen, I'll make it quick, but you got to pick a lane when you're a woman. You either want to be the masculine role or the feminine role, and if you choose the masculine role, it doesn't mean you like femme guys who are gay. It just means it's just a way of it doesn't matter. Read the book, and if you want to know the name of the book, I'm not going to tell you over the air because it's an embarrassing name, but you can Instagram message me and I will tell you there. Anyway,
Here's my book. You
Bumble
meet-
sucks for it.
Bumble sucks. You meet, you hang out, you do butt stuff, and then you love each other.
Well, is that an app you're developing?
Yeah.
What's it called?
What's butt?
Butter, anal, but there's no second A. or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, that's good. That's real good, Tom.
know.
That's how they do these apps. Yeah, Bumble's flawed because the woman has to reach out first, and it's Tom met his lady on Bumble,
Love Bumble.
but it worked for you because you did she did the extent.
Oh, you
wait,
did the
you did the
extend.
I did the
extend,
extend, which
which
is
said
a move.
which was the first move,
Yeah.
and then she was able to like say hi or whatever. But like, I'm on Hinge right now, and I refuse.
Ooh, my
To
Hinge.
make I refuse to say anything first.
My Hinge looks like somebody just went to a shelter and was like, hey, come here, let's take your pictures.
Oh, really?
Bad news.
Really? What do you mean?
Why'd you use pictures like that?
No, not me.
Oh, I
the
see.
Oh,
chicks
man,
on
Oh,
it.
I
It is-
gotcha.
My friend is also on it, and her dudes are so. It is comically bad.
Really?
I'm like
Horrible.
It looks like you were making up people to put on an
Yeah.
app to troll your friend.
Yes.
And my matches are great. And it's all dependent on your Facebook friends and like. And Anya
Is Hinge it's still like that? I thought that lady was saying it's
I
not like
know
that
that's what
anymore.
I thought, but someone just told me it's still like that, and that's probably why hers are bad because she has not attractive Facebook friends or whatever.
Yeah, is that a reflection on me?
I don't know, but here's the thing: is that Anya actually wrote Hinge. She like showed a drafted email to them, being like, "Why are my matches so unattractive?"
Jesus.
She needs to know because it is weird because we all compared our matches and we're dealing with the same age. Yeah, that's not okay. I get some of those too. Ian just showed me a couple people, and I'm just like, if there was a way.
I was
It's a real
real
zoo
know what you're
crew.
talking
Because
about.
here's the thing: in the end, any relationship you see, usually you end up with someone who is within. If we're all 1 to 10 scale of attractiveness, you usually end up with someone within 2 numbers of you. It just happens that way. I can't unless you're a rich old man and there's a young woman there or like a celebrity guy who's old and rich. It just basic couples, they will always be a couple within 2 numbers of each other attractive
Yep.
wise. It across the board.
Give or take.
I cannot off air. I will beg you to give me an example of
Yeah,
someone in
off
our
air,
lives.
I'm gonna try to give you one.
Yeah, okay, I would love it.
It's a celebrity, but it's still not nice.
No,
to do
celebrities
this.
don't count.
No, but
Yeah,
it's a
'cause they have
celebrity
the other
who's
stuff.
all right. It's not
Okay.
it's not like an unattractive guy. It's like a hot guy
Okay, with a less
with
hot
a
girl.
woman that I don't think is up to.
Okay,
But
interesting.
I think sometimes these like
I would
high school
say-
Christians will end up with
yeah.
some ragdolls.
That happens. Listen, if I met my high school sweetheart based on what I looked like when I was in high school, I would
Yeah.
be with an ugly guy now. Do you know what I mean? Because I was
Boy.
ugly in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't figure things out, and you figure some things out. I raised a couple points since high school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. And hopefully he would raise with me. But
yeah.
He still has teen acne.
but yeah, like if you meet someone early on enough, you change a lot, and you can go up a couple points. They can go down. You can go down. They can go up.
Sure.
It happens.
They better go down. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. That's what
Oh.
I'm saying too, man. Go downtown. Like a
Stay there for a
barnacle on an
while.
old boat.
That is the truth.
We're
Zero
back.
G.
It's You Up with Nikki Glazer. We're talking about that TED Talk I shared yesterday. I shared it with Ian also yesterday via text, so you're up to date with this whole theory about online dating. It can be overwhelming. There's too many dates. You waste too much time going to dinner with people. You keep it short. You set criteria, and you go, okay, if a guy messages me or a girl, and they don't. And they do something outside of these 3 things. For this girl in this TED Talk, it was he has to have good grammar. He has to mention something specific in my profile so that I know it's not a copy and paste situation. And he can't say anything sexual.
Yes.
And for that girl, those were her requirements. You set your own. Once they meet those, you agree to a date if they ask you out. Or if you're in the masculine role as a woman, you can ask them out too. I don't do that, but you wait
You
for
have
them to
use a
ask you
gruff
out.
Voice.
What?
You have to use a gruff voice.
Yeah, you want to go out with me?
out?
So then you go out with them, and all that you do on the date, it's an hour long. You decide whether or not you want to go to dinner with this person. That's all you determine. You don't go, am I going to walk down the aisle and see this guy? Am I going to have kids with him? Do I want to have sex with him? You just go, do I want to go to dinner with him? And then you can move it to dinner. And what do you think about it, Ian?
I think that's great. Getting offline quickly is the way to go.
Yeah,
Because then you
I
get
agree.
a pen pal, and and then
And
you
you-
talk on the app.
Yeah.
But if you
build
get
up a rapport
offline-
that's not real.
But if
Yeah.
oh yes, you get out of the chat online
Yeah.
quickly.
The
I
online
have-
chat is not how it's going to be
Oh.
when you meet.
and let me tell you, guys, you're cock blocking yourselves the more
Oh,
you talk.
yeah.
Like it's happened before where I'm like, oh, I would go out with this guy if he asked me out now, and then the conversation goes maybe 3 more lines, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you've already said something that I'm not interested.
Uh-huh.
And it could be a lame joke. It could just be
Yeah.
something. It can be something that you didn't even mean to.
But if you
and
go-
and I'm missing out because now I'm judging you based on this thing that you just in a moment were walking
Yeah.
and texting and didn't think,
Right.
and now we've ruined it.
Yeah, if you
And
throw
I've
it into
ruined it before.
LOL, you're fucked.
Yeah,
Oh,
like just
no.
anything. Like I'm sure I've said things when the conversation has gone on too long where the guy's been like, okay, I'm not into this anymore.
Yeah, but
It's-
at what point are you like, hey, this is me. Do you want to get a coffee with me?
No, I will tell you the guy that I went on a date with that I had a great date the other night. I was looking, being like, oh, how did we even start chatting? Like, was it me first? I liked one of his answers on Hinge. I didn't like a
So
picture, but I
you were
liked.
the aggressor.
Yeah, I liked one of the answers. I just liked it, which is how you get it started. And then he goes, he wrote he was the first to write, and he goes, believe it or not, this is not in fact the most embarrassing hair. Oh, he was talking about some. He had a joke, and I liked it. And he goes, but you're going to have to let me buy you a seltzer to hear that story. So he referenced that I'm
Nice.
sober.
Uh-huh.
And he immediately asked me out on a date, and it was before I even responded.
Yeah.
So it was like immediate date. I loved it.
Yeah.
The sooner the better, guys. The
Maybe
sooner
I'm
the
too
better.
aggressive because I go, hey, I think you're a real babe, and I'd like to take you out for coffee.
Love it. Love it.
Here's the
No
only,
one ever says
Here's the only
yes.
thing. You gotta put that specific thing in there
Yep.
though, because I was saying that too to people, and I was not getting anything. I would just say I did that a lot when I was drunk. I just messaged girls like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you're a babe," and I think they sometimes I would get a message back, but it was not.
The
I never
specific.
dated anybody from that.
Oh,
So
I gotta
saying
be
something specific from their
specific.
profile.
Yeah, I think if he would have said, I would love to buy you a drink," but he said a seltzer, and I go,
'cause you're sober.
he looked at my profile, but I think you're right. If he would have just said, "You're a babe, let me buy you a drink,"
Yeah.
I would have been like, "No,
Or he
you
has
say
a
this to
burp
everyone."
Fetish.
Or what? A
Or he
burp
has a
fetish?
burp fetish.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I think that's the key, that you just kind of figured it out, because it was the that nailed everything. It was good grammar, specific, not sexual, and asked me out
Yeah.
right away. That's
Like,
what
I
I
think
need.
you're a
Calling every
babe
girl
can be good.
tits.
What's that?
I said
Yeah.
I've been calling every girl tits.
You say I want to come on your tits.
Yeah.
So
Right,
it's specific to them.
The tits in the second picture, preferably. Whatever part of your cycle you were at when your tits were this heaving. It's a delicate balance, because I'm in a lot of I'm like in like probably like 10 chats with guys, and I went through yesterday and I'm like, I can't keep all of these guys straight.
Yeah.
You know, like they all kind of
because they're turning gay when they see your pictures.
There's too many of them, and they all look the same because I'm into a type, and they all
Yeah, they all look like they're like
look at this. They're all the same guy.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
Nick, William, Matt.
I feel
Matt.
like
They're
Facebook
all
would
the
match
same.
and like try to tag your ex in their pictures.
Wow.
They're all tech guys.
I got a new match just now. Okay. It's revealed that his first picture was good, and then you go further down, you go, okay, I see what's
His
going
first
on here.
picture's
I want to
playing
see.
a
I want to
guitar.
see his pictures.
With the ball cap on.
Oh.
Ooh.
Is it advertising his own brand?
Yeah. That guy
Damn.
never followed up. But yeah, I mean, all these apps are kind of the same, but I do like Hinge a lot. I'm glad that what's her name came in here and told us
Yeah.
about it, because it's what got me on there. And
Mine is unhinged. It is terrible.
yeah, you're not doing
Oh,
well,
no.
and you don't like it.
No, but I found a gal in real life.
It's because
Yeah.
you're friends with Facebook. Or
IRL.
on Facebook with live rats.
With Russian trolls.
It's it's I'm really enjoying it. I think I go through different phases of my life where I'm like, oh, like I'm in date phase, and right now, like, I can do this. It
Yeah.
won't always be this way. Like, I will go back into a deep, like, I will shut down again and be like, I don't want to meet anyone. I don't care. I want to just meet a comedian that already works in my life. But right now I'm like, let me take job interview. Like, it feels like
Yeah.
a job interview. It feels like kind of fun. Like, I'm looking for a new job. And the thing is, I know job, get it. The thing is, I'm like, don't do the joke that I laid out for everyone to do. The thing is, I am not. I don't know that I'm looking for anything serious. So I think that that's what makes it fun. Is
Yeah.
like there's no expectations on my end for this.
Yeah.
But
that's
it does.
That's a good way to set it up mentally to where you're in a good spot to meet somebody.
I had a.
I think you're gonna meet somebody like that you really like from this.
I think so too. Yeah, despite myself, like not when you're not looking for
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
essentially. But it's funny because I am looking for it
But
because
you
I'm going on
set up-
dates, but I'm not.
But you set up the precedence in your head. You're like the
That's why the
expectation.
zero
that you're not
date is
going to-
good.
It's
That's what I'm
I
saying,
love
yeah.
this TED Talk completely revolutionized.
Yeah.
Literally the night before the TED Talk that I came across that, I wrote a guy who's been asking me out on one of these apps for months, and I wrote him and I go, listen, you're great, you are hot, you seem lovely and like someone I'd really have a connection with, and
Yeah.
it scares me, so that's why I'm not going on a date with you. I want you to know that I'm genuinely interested in you, but I am not ready for whatever I think this could be. And I'm not saying that you even want that with me, but like
Yeah.
your greatness scares me, and I
hear
don't
that a lot.
I was being honest, like I was just like, whatever it is, like I can't pinpoint why I don't want to go out with you other than I'm scared because you seem awesome
And what do you
I'm
say?
not ready. And he goes, I completely get that. I would so like to just hang out as friends though. And I was like, okay, finally the pressure's
There you
off. I
go,
think it was
yeah.
like that plus the TED Talk. I was like, okay, now I'm fine. Like if I just approach everything like that, where it's like I realize I'm scared of true intimacy, and I'm trying to get over that, and
Yeah.
the only way to force myself to is to meet more people and open myself up to it.
Yeah.
But I will say that it's funny. Like I was talking to a friend of mine who went on a date with a girl recently, and he was like, we had a great time, I thought, at dinner, and then afterwards I wanted to like hang out more, and she was like, I don't feel really good, and I was listening to the story being like,
She's not into it,
she's
yeah.
not into it, and he goes, oh, it's okay that you're not like, do you want to maybe instead of just do something, just go back to my place, we could just watch TV? And she's like, I'm gonna go home. And then he found out that she like didn't go home, she went out with friends, and like he found out from the friend that set them up that she wasn't into it, and he
Yeah.
was like bummed. And I go, and my friend is awesome. And I was like, she doesn't fucking get it, dude.
Yeah.
She doesn't get it, so she doesn't get it.
Yeah,
So like,
there you go.
She did you a favor. And by the way, this girl sounds lame AF because you are so cool. It's like you shouldn't want to be with this girl. She
Yeah.
has bad taste. And he was
Yeah.
like, whoa, you just like changed the way I feel about this. And I did.
Yeah,
I said it
that's
to my
great.
girlfriend the other day too, and I goes like, this guy that you're pining for, he has bad taste. I wouldn't want to hang out with him because he doesn't like my friend who is the most amazing. He's not like going after you, and you're the greatest person. Like he's flawed to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to hang out with him. He doesn't know greatness. But he doesn't even want to be your friend. Then he sucks.
Yeah.
And so I've been spouting all of this kind of
Rhetoric.
yes.
Yeah.
And I really believe that. Like I don't think the bad person's a bad person. They're just not someone I would want to be friends with. They like movies I don't like probably. They just have bad taste in my opinion of people and things.
Sure.
So then I went on a date a couple nights ago with this guy. The guy that I was talking about that was like we were talking about statistics
Yep.
and like it was a very intellectual conversation and he was so hot. And at the end of it I was like I don't know if I'll want to go. I might want to go out with him again if he asks, but like he'll definitely want to go out with me again because I killed it. I'm beautiful. I'm going places.
The Church and Nikki Glazer.
Yeah, I was just like, he's definitely gonna want to go out, and I'll have to decide whether or not I follow up with this.
Sure.
And then I didn't hear from him, and I was like, oh, he wasn't he
Yeah.
wasn't feeling me. And then suddenly I was forced to give myself my own advice.
Yeah.
Which was if he doesn't get it, then he doesn't get it. And
Yeah.
he's doing me a favor by not having me have to reject him.
Absolutely, yeah.
And now I know that he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
But then he wrote me the day later. So I guess it was pretty great. I was like, I knew it. I
That
didn't
is
read
good
that
advice,
wrong.
though.
It is.
Because
Did you get that from the book?
No, I got it from my
that book
brain.
Stinks.
every person that I think the book stinks.
Yeah, the
but
book
I think
sucks.
every
No, that book does not. Let me just say the book doesn't suck.
Yeah.
The book, when you give a guy 8 weeks, when you say to a guy, here's what I want.
Yeah.
If you don't, this is what the book is good for. If you like a guy and he just wants to hang out and keep things casual and he doesn't want to lock you down as a girlfriend and you want to be his girlfriend, saying to a guy, that's what I want and I don't want anything less is a great idea because it forces his hand because you don't want to settle either, girl. So
Yeah.
it does. And over the 8 weeks that you give him to either realize that he wants to be with you or not, and he doesn't come around, in that 8 weeks, you realize that you don't really need him.
Yeah.
So it is the book is
I'm not
great
saying
in that way.
I think that I'm not saying every facet of the book stinks.
Yes, but I'm saying that's the good part of the
yeah,
book.
okay. That I agree with. I
Okay.
think time is a tell-all anyway.
But David tell-all.
That's true. Skanks for the memories. Shit, what was I gonna say?
I'm sorry.
Every single person that like you've ever been rejected by, if you think about what it would have been like to date them in the past, you're like, oh, that would have sucked.
Yes. I was like, what? First of all, the guy that was telling me about this girl, I'm like, you're way hotter than her. Like, the only reason you want her is because she never
want you.
seemed into you. I talked to him
Yeah.
before the date, and he was like, I don't know. She just seems like someone I have to, like, really, like, win over. And I'm like,
That's never gonna work
I go,
out.
this girl is perfect for you because that's
Thrill the
all you
chase.
want is people who don't want you.
Yeah.
And I
And
was
then
like,
when they want
you're
you-
going to
Not a good
love this girl.
relationship, yeah.
And then he pulled up a picture. I'm like, she's not even like as cute as you. Like,
Yeah, but then
you
when-
just want her because she
when
doesn't want you.
Yeah, but then when someone wants me, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yes,
Of course.
because you don't love yourself.
I do.
No,
well,
you
I'm
don't.
working on it.
We're all working on it.
Yes.
That's my whole point is that I used to hate myself, so I only wanted guys who like truly hated me, like didn't respect me at all. I only wanted guys who didn't like me because I didn't like myself. Now I'm working towards loving myself. I'm not there yet, but I like myself.
Yeah.
So I can like people that like me, which is a
Yes.
vast improvement upon
Yes.
guys who don't like me.
Yeah.
So I like guys who like me, but do I love guys who love me? Not yet. I'm working towards it. I'm getting there. You're getting
I'm
there.
getting there.
I have all the potential to love myself. I'm clearly on my way, but I am not there yet because when I see a guy that I'm like, this guy has the capacity to love another person and is in a place, it scares me so
yeah.
much because I don't truly, in my heart of hearts, feel like I deserve it yet. And I know I do on paper. I know, and I'm trying to get there, and that's why I go to therapy. That's why I read self-help books. That's why I do meditation. That's why I do positive affirmations.
You got to go to the mountains.
Yeah, I mean, you went to the mountains. You isolated yourself in a
Alone.
yurt
Yeah.
last weekend. Tell me about it.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I turned my phone off. I went out in nature. I had like a mushroom trip without the mushrooms.
Wow.
It was incredible. I spent time with self. I reflected. I read a book in 2 days. when I'm in the city, I can't even read because everything's like
Too much going on.
Yep.
I turned my phone off. Guess what? Nobody's calling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't miss out on anything.
You really don't.
No.
The news cycle kind of stays the same.
I didn't
Everything's
get any
still shit.
notifications in my thing that was
Yeah.
like, there's a new disease. Trump this.
Yeah.
It was just like me in nature breathing, and
Yeah.
and I went on a hike, and I set a goal to hike, and I did it, and I did it by
Great,
myself,
man.
and I didn't use anyone to like go with me, and I don't know, it was just very nice to breathe and get out of the city and achieve this thing that I wanted to do and be with self.
I'm
and
so
it gave
happy
me a
that
better
it worked out.
appreciation for myself and for the things around me because I went 2 days without anything around me.
Yeah, I think the only way I'm going to be able to do that is to get arrested and then go into solitary confinement and be forced into
To
it.
murder someone.
And literally, and then misbehave in
You'll be
prison
the hinge
and
killer.
put into the hinge killer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
find these
couple guys on there
Hinge.
already that I'm like, I'd like to murder you.
And they're so boring, no one will miss them.
no one,
Yeah.
they won't even. So I
my
won't
only
get
concern,
caught.
I think there already is a hinge killer. I'm sure.
Oh, there's gotta be. There's gotta
You'd
be.
be considered a copycat.
Yeah, going out in the woods. I mean, I really admire you for doing that because it takes a lot to unplug, and I don't know that I'm much like loving myself. I don't know that I'm there yet.
Well,
I'm
I
so
had-
addicted to my phone. I don't think I could do it.
I have that negative thing in my head that like tells me I'm stupid, I suck, and all this stuff, and I really have to combat it.
Yeah.
And I was in complete silence on the ride up, got into the cabin, complete silence, alone in a cabin, and the first thing I said out loud is, "I'm not stupid." To like combat the negative voice.
Are you okay? Sometimes I'll yell things out because I'm having an argument in
Oh,
my
dude,
head.
I went on the edge of a mountain
Uh-huh.
and yelled into the fucking wilderness positive affirmations.
Yeah,
It was
that's
incredible.
great. That's
it was
great.
awesome.